My fellow Americans, America's undeniable mission is as this world's effervescent beacon and sanctuary of freedom. That vision for this country was and still is a simple one, the most powerful one. They are the foundational values that make this country the epicenter of freedom, justice, greatness, and opportunity for all. Governance is about human beings, their inalienable rights, understanding, acceptance, and justice for all, not judgment and creating positive pathways that people can utilize. Collectively as a people, this is our national ethos, our self-image. As a people, we seek to be revered, not reviled. We must now do what those that would govern us have forgotten. That is, to align it all in a way that truly serves the people of this great nation and planet first. My fellow Americans, each of us needs to re-examine what leadership really means, not just in politics or business, but in our own homes and communities, without preaching or shaming. Instead, challenge yourselves in a way that is both insightful and sobering, without being hopeless. Stewardship creates environments where people can grow, innovate, and take ownership of their contributions, not through force, coercion, or duress, which is polarizing us now. Utilizing a philosophy that highlights principles such as fairness, accountability, truth, repair, responsibility, and long-term thinking as the cornerstones of sustainable leadership. Every American has a role to play, as real change begins with transparency, situational awareness, ethical decision-making, and small, meaningful actions by prioritizing purpose and human potential over short-term gains. My fellow Americans, freedom, justice, equality, and opportunity have been abandoned for personal gain. You have shown up in the millions to be against something as one people, one voice. Who we are as a people, a nation, is now in question. We find ourselves in the shadow of governance that is corrupted, compromised, and under siege by forces that care only for their own power, wealth, and possessions. Our system no longer serves the citizens. It serves only the interests of the disconnected and disingenuous elites. It's hero time for each and every American with the ability to vote. The question is, will we continue to slide towards a dark, dystopic future, or one that creates pathways that is utopic, as originally intended by our founders? Together, we must create a culture that uplifts everyone. My fellow Americans, the People's Mandate is a mandate for social activism and a commitment to fighting against injustice, inequality, and prejudice. This is the fundamental principle of responsibility to continuously work to make the world a better place in the here and now. We seek to deliver a powerful, clear-sighted call to individuals and their respective communities to move forward with purpose, balance, and compassion. This is a resurrection of the all-American spirit that will empower all Americans to stand up and walk tall again. Through stewardship, we are choosing acts and/or actions that will heal and/or repair our families, our communities, countries, and the world we create will be heaven on earth, taking us all from survival mode to a thriving, hopeful future. My fellow Americans, human beings are born with something, that thing, that fire, that gift, that desire. And society, its job isn't to suppress it, not to shove it in a box, not to say, you can't. No, society's job is to say yes, to make space for that thing to flourish. Food, shelter, safety, belonging, and self-actualization, these are Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They aren't luxuries, they're foundational. The problem is that the system has made the foundation negotiable. It has made these basics conditional. If you're worried about where you're sleeping tonight, you're not going to write the next great novel. If your fridge is empty, you're not starting a business. When your life is in chaos, you're not creating new ways to live. You're just surviving. My fellow Americans, all of our collective ingrained societal beliefs, whether from family, religion, or social groups, shape our decisions, often limiting our potential. This isn't about tearing it all down. It's about rebuilding the foundation, about returning to what we already know. When people are allowed to live fully, when they are supported, protected, and loved, they thrive. In essence, our message calls for a cultural and spiritual awakening, asking for a shift from survival to thriving, and urging each person to become a positive force in creating a just, harmonious world. The All-American Way is about compassion, courage, and a strong belief in the future. This is how we can rebuild a better society, one where dignity, responsibility, and helping each other matter most. My fellow Americans, impeachment has failed twice. We must defend ourselves with the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, aka RICO. This was designed precisely to stop crime families, street gangs, corrupt politicians, corporate crime, and bribery schemes that infiltrate into legitimate businesses and government. Time to use both RICO and civil RICO so that we can rebuild what matters. Additionally, private parties can file lawsuits under this act to recover triple damages. This administration has a culpable, high-level mental state that demonstrates a wanton disregard, a depraved indifference for human life, a malicious or inhuman mindset. These perpetrators recklessly create a grave risk from the sheer cruelty of their or callousness of their acts and or actions, which makes them the most heinous administration in American history. My fellow Americans, we require code and regulation, not laws that can be bent or twisted to avoid or circumvent critical thinking, reflection, and responsibilities. Not only in personal choices, but in how we build our foundation and society as a whole. Governance is about human beings, their inalienable rights, understanding, acceptance, and justice for all, not judgment, and creating positive pathways that people can utilize. Collectively as a people, this is our national ethos, our self-image. As a people, we seek to be revered, not reviled. We must recognize the interconnectedness of our actions and do what those that would govern us have forgotten. That is, to align it all in a way that truly serves the people of this great nation and planet first.